Hello there, and good morning everyone. I'd like to talk to you today on the topic of fairness. I know that many of us have many times believed or heard that the world is a fair and just place, that hard work and determination lead to success. But I'm here to be honest and say this isn't always true. Some people work hard, do nothing wrong, and still things don't always work out for them. Let's think about this today. The world can be mean, and often it is not fair. Life is not equal for everyone. Some are born with advantages and others are not. Some have access to resources and opportunities that others just don't have. The reality can be difficult to accept and can lead to feelings of frustration, anger, and unfairness. However, it's important to remember that just because the world is not fair, it doesn't mean we can't strive to make it a better place. We have the power to create fairness in our own lives and in our own communities. We can choose to treat others with kindness and respect, to stand up for what is right, and to do the little things that can help in creating a world that is more fair. A fairer world is better for you. For some people around the world, what we already have right now seems unfair. Heating, electric, clean clothes, healthcare, and the biggest of these free things, free education. These things are valuable, and others around the world can't always afford them. So to them, us having these things can seem unfair. However, we can help. To make the world a fairer place in one way is to encourage economic development. Simply taking what we have here, say our buildings, and moving it to a less developed country just wouldn't help. They wouldn't have the utilities such as water, electric, gas, the broadband to supply it, and they may not have the staff available to run it. In fact, moving our solutions to other countries has been tried before and found to have some pretty bad side effects. Also, just moving resources often doesn't help. For instance, would picking up this school and moving it be possible without damaging it? No. But that's an extreme example to demonstrate a point. What we can do is encourage others to develop their own systems, build on the expertise they have, support them with ideas, expertise, and sometimes funding. Then they can develop and the world becomes a fairer place as they start to benefit from the things we already have. The term I'd like to use to describe this is egoistic altruism. We'll have a video on this in a minute. However, just to go some vocabulary so you remember something from the day, egoistic is when you're self-centered. It's when you're being preoccupied with oneself and the gratification of one's own desires, thinking what's best for me all the time. Altruism is concern for the well-being of others, looking after other people for no benefit to yourself. Egoistic altruism.
In a positive-sum world, it's in your personal, selfish best interest that every human on planet Earth is well off. It's good for you if people in obscure parts of countries you've never heard of are prospering. There is a genuine, selfish argument for making the world a better place. In a positive-sum world, the more people are well off, the better your own life is. This is because of the nature of innovation. It is fundamentally driven by supply and demand. The supply increases when more people have the freedom and education to contribute. They become inventors, researchers, engineers, or thinkers that come up with new ideas. The demand for ideas increases as people get richer and can pay for new solutions. They increase the size of the market for innovations. Innovation follows incentives. So naturally, if many people want and can pay for something, it will get the innovator's attention and energy. Improving the lives of those who are worst off has a multiplying effect. It increases demand for ideas while at the same time making it easier for ideas to be produced. Let's take an example that interests all of us, a cure for cancer. If there are 1 billion people in the world that have the wealth to pay for cancer treatments, innovation will follow this demand. So hundreds of billions of dollars have been invested in medical research. This had a huge effect, but we're still nowhere near to curing all forms of cancer. Today, every 6th person in the world dies of cancer, and you might be one of them. Now imagine if demand were higher. Imagine instead of 1 billion people being able to pay for a cure for cancer, there were 4 billion. Or 7 billion. Imagine how far medicine could have developed if we'd invested 7 times as much in curing cancer. On top of that, there's so much human potential being wasted right now. The work of a poor farmer in a developing nation is not useful to you, But if he becomes better off, his children might spend their time in university developing things that are useful to you. Instead of having some hotspots of innovation in the developed world, we would have many hotspots all over the world. The research output of humanity would be many times what it is right now. Could we have cured cancer by now if that were the case? Well, maybe. If we spent 7 times as much on research, had 7 times as many people working on it, and a global network of medical research, things would certainly be further ahead than they are now. And this is the core of the argument. The more people want the same thing that you want, the more likely you are to get it. That is what it means to live in a positive-sum world. You don't gain more pie if poor places stay poor. Instead, you get more pie if poor places get richer, contribute ideas, and grow the global pie. Do you like space travel? Imagine there were billions of people in Africa and Asia with their own space programs and demand for satellites and moon bases and cities on Mars. Do you like being alive? A few billion people paying for medical research could literally save your life. It's in your interest for people around the world to become better off. The faster we get to this version of the world, the better for you personally. No matter what your motivation is, working on a better world is a very good thing to do. For others, and for you.
Everything the same. It's important to understand that fairness does not mean everyone getting the same thing. It means that everyone should have equal access to opportunities, resources, and the ability to pursue their dreams. It means that everyone should be treated with dignity and respect, regardless of their background or circumstances. So even though the world may not be fair, we can still strive to make it a better place by being kind and always trying our best. Even only doing this in our own lives, we can help to create a world that is more fair for everyone. But how can I help in my small part of the world? It's good for others if we are trying to make the world a fairer place, and the reason for that is that others will copy and benefit from it. Then the world becomes a fairer place for you too. The term for this is egoistic altruism. On a smaller scale, we can do things to make the world a fairer place, even if it doesn't directly appear to help us. For instance, tidying up can have a positive impact on everyone's life. It can help reduce stress and anxiety by creating a calm, organised, clean environment. A clean and tidy space can also promote productivity and motivation. You just feel better, making it easier to focus on the tasks and achieve goals. If you made the mess, tidy it up. If you didn't make the mess, tidy it up. It will make you feel better. For example, tidying improves your own physical health by reducing clutter and minimize the risk of accidents or tripping hazard. It can also promote better mental health by fostering a sense of accomplishment and control of your environment. Overall, taking the time to tidy up can have numerous benefits and contribute to a happier, healthier lifestyle for yourself and for everyone. Finally, I'd just like you to take 20 seconds, and I'll pause here, just to give you a chance to think of something you could do that wasn't fair. In my example, it's tidying up someone else's litter. But think of something else you could do. For instance, buying a card for someone else to save them having to buy a birthday card for a friend or a family member. Think about it and think how doing that one thing will make someone else happy and make the world a slightly fairer place. Thank you so much for your time.